It's not supposed to be showing.
Bro.
1 second, class.
Mhm.
All right, perfect. That should be better.
All
All right.
right.
Good morning, class. Good morning, class. Welcome to our online portion of our OBS. This is Wednesday. Hopefully, everybody had a good day so far. Staying good, hydrated. Full tummies. How you feeling today, Roy?
I'm feeling super good. Today, guys, we're going to be teaching you about joining esports tournaments. Now,
Today we're gonna be about gameplay and strategy.
gameplay and strategy. My fault. I
Yeah.
went a little too ahead.
Okay.
That's for the future.
That's for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, next time or tomorrow, you guys will be learning about joining tournaments and the pros and cons of it. But today we'll be learning about mostly gameplay and strategy. Okay, different games and the different strategies that ties into them. All right. So let's go ahead and get this started. All right. Main objective today is going to be the goal of this presentation is to help students understand the importance of gameplay and strategy in different video game genres. All right. All right, in this presentation, students will explore how different game genres such as FPS, hero shooters, sports, and fighting games each require unique strategies and skills. All right, through examples from Valorant, Marvel Rivals, NBA 2K25, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, they will be learning how teamwork, positioning, resource management, and adaptation can lead to success. Okay, so as you can see at the bottom, you have Valorant right here, you have Marvel Rivals, you have NBA 2K25, and you have your very own Smash Bros. Ultimate, which we bring to you in person. Okay, you trying to start us off, Roy? With
Um,
your very
I'm
own,
having I'm having I'm having a little trouble trying to find where it is exactly.
for real.
Yeah,
All
in
right,
Canva.
go to Canva. Go to.
Okay.
Let me
I'm
see.
at the module, but that's why I thought we were doing the esports one because.
You probably at the Smash Bros. One. That's why.
Oh my gosh, I am.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
1 second, guys. 1 second, girls. How's everyone doing today? Let's get some some feedback from you guys. Is everyone doing today? Tempest. Good morning, Corey. Okay, I like the name too,
Yo,
Tempest.
what's up, Corey?
Corey. It's a show. What's that show used to be called? What? Corey in the House? Corey in the White
Oh
House
my
or something like
gosh.
that?
Yeah, Corey in the house. Corey in the house.
Hey, that show was
A
cool.
throwback.
All right, but I'm
Um,
gonna get y'all started while he starts
yeah,
looking
please.
for it. So let's get it started with the game genres and their unique aspects. All right, every game falls into a specific genre, and each genre has its own unique gameplay style and strategies. All right, understanding these differences helps each players improve their skills and decision making. All right. So this first game that we're showing you is Valorant. Okay, this game is called a first-person shooter, or AKA FPS. All right, FPS games focus on precise aiming, positioning, and teamwork. Valorant takes this a step further by adding character abilities, making strategy just as important as gunplay. So there's a game called Counter Strike. I'm not sure if you guys played it, but
Hmm.
It's super similar to Valorant. It just doesn't have abilities. So it's pretty much the normal version of FPS, and Valorant is a little bit enhanced, adding abilities to make it give it another dynamic for you guys to either win or lose depending on how you use it. Okay,
All right, I found it. We're all good.
let's go. So the
And
second one.
and yeah, and the cool thing about Valorant too is that
Hmm.
I will say that CS:GO basically like inspired Valorant as well, because just like how Smash inspired other platform fighter games or
Hmm.
other FPS games that inspire future generations. And I always think that's really cool because I never got into CS:GO. So I never like truly played it. But once Valorant came out, it took a while, but I started getting more into it, and now it's one of my top three games that I play. And that just goes to show, like, you start with something,
Hmm.
and something bigger and greater can be eventually grown from it to the point to where now Valorant is in the roster to be in
Hmm.
the esports Olympics, guys. Very, very cool. Stream is pretty delayed on the main TV.
It's a
Uh,
yeah, the stream delay will happen. It's
yeah,
just something unavoidable.
yeah, yeah.
So as long as it's playing on the TV, we should be fine.
Yeah, it's no longer than like 10, 15 seconds, so you guys should be good. But I'll read the next slide. So, staying along with Valorant, here's an example, right? You have attacking and defending, and you have rounds. So on the defense, a team might hold angles at a key choke points and use abilities like smokes, flashes, or walls to block enemy vision and control space. Their objective is basically to make sure that they make sure the spike is not planted.
Hmm.
When attacking a spike site, instead of rushing in blindly, a team might, you know, use a flashbang or blind defenders, deploy a smoke grenade to block sight lines, or maybe even fake an attack on one site to bait defenders away from the real target. Make sure they use all the utilities and waste a lot of resources,
Hmm.
and just for it to be planted on another site.
All right.
So why it matters? Unlike traditional shooters, abilities in Valorant add layers of strategy. A well-timed flashbang or smoke can win a round even if player has worse aim. Yep, this focuses on team coordination, map control, and aim precision.
Yep. So as you can see on the right side, this green layer right here is a wall that you can create. It's one of the character's abilities, and this is a good way to section off a space, so they won't be able to see or they won't be able to attack your team from that angle. And you guys can take another angle and maybe take the bomb site or eliminate two people and get the advantage. So it's a real
Mhm.
good way to just switch up the strategy a little bit. And this is one way that Valorant has changed from different FPS, but it still ties into the same genre, first person shooter. Okay, next we have hero shooter. This is one of the best games out right now. One of my favorite games. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
cap. It is Marvel Rivals. All right, it's a hero shooter, third person shooter. All right, unlike traditional FPS games, all right, Marvel Rivals lets players control iconic superheroes with unique abilities, adding a mix of action and strategy. Okay, since Marvel Rivals is a hero-based game, winning requires understanding which heroes work well together and which counter each other. All right, so right here you see the Thing, and Hope just hashing it out right now.
Iconic.
A beautiful sight to see. Okay, and here's some examples. Okay, if the enemy has a strong front line tank like Hulk, players might counter a pick. I mean, players might counterpick a hero with ranged abilities like Iron Man, Human Torch is even out now, and to attack from a distance. Okay, this just allows the player to have more room for play and more advantage over a tank like Hulk, because once he gets in, he's doing damage, and then he's gonna jump right back out. All right. If the enemy if the enemy team relies on high damage, low health heroes, choosing a tank like Venom or Thor can absorb damage and disrupt their attacks. Okay. So if you got a high damage, if you got a lot of people in the back line and they're just doing free damage, you gotta kind of gotta switch it up to like Venom or Thor, somebody that can really push and really do damage and stay alive at the same time. Okay.
I have a question for you guys. So, what exactly is counterplay?
Mm.
Because you may hear it, but you may not necessarily know what it is or what it means. But what do you guys think or know what
What does counterplay
counterplay?
means?
Yeah.
All right, let me put that in the chat. Good question. That's a good question. All right. And lastly, why it matters. Players need to understand hero synergies. Okay, combining abilities effectively can make the difference between winning and losing a fight. Playing the right hero for the situation makes it harder for enemies to execute their strategies. Okay. So
Hmm.
as you can see in these pictures, Iron Man taking the high ground. Literally, he's a fly in the sky, just doing damage to the enemy team.
Making sure he's not too close up in front of the battle, making sure he's near some cover in case someone sees him. He's ready to just fly away
Yeah,
like a little mosquito.
little mosquito.
And yep, and notice how he's targeting the mantis because
hmm
she's one, a strategist, and she's very vital to the team to keep them alive.
hmm
And two, she's on the ground. She has no air mobility at all, unlike Star Lord, which is right there to the left. So Iron Man's priority should be to pressure and hopefully eliminate the mantis before he gets pressured and eliminated himself.
hmm And on the right side, you see Venom flying in, as he does, just like Spider-Man.
Yep, and Venom is a dive vanguard. He is looking for his prey, primarily the backline and a squishy. He has more of a health pool compared to normal squishies, so he's definitely on the hunt to try to take a pick, distract the enemy, maybe even force him to use some ults.
Okay, so we got an answer from Miss Chang.
Hmm.
It says a counterplay is like when a team uses a support ult after it finishes your team, takes takes advantage and pushes up. So I'm
That could
guessing,
count. That could count as a counterplay.
yeah, that can count as a counterplay, of course.
Yep. I like that. Yep. Yeah, there's counterplay and counter picking, and yeah, definitely you want to capitalize after the enemy team uses like a resource, a really big one too, like an ult.
hmm
It's like, okay, cool. Now it's our turn to counterattack that, and yeah, that's very good.
Very good. So let's go to the next one. We have NBA 2K25. All
Good
right.
job, guys.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. And can I see who sent that last answer? I know it wasn't Miss Chang.
All right.
But NBA 2K25, okay, is our next slide. We have about a couple more slides left. All right. Sports games like NBA 2K25 require real world basketball knowledge, quick decision making, and adapting to opponents. Okay. Other games like Madden, NCAA, um, it just helps to have that real world knowledge. You don't always need it, but it definitely helps in sports games. Okay, basketball games require adapting to the opponent's defense and running effective plays to score, um, and basically turn the tides of the game. Okay, and as you can see, that's Steph Curry taking a pretty much a wide open shot, running the ISO. He has two people on the left side, two people on the right side, so he's pretty much wide open. So there's no way Steph Curry would miss this unless he was super fatigued or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just a good shooter. That's all I'm saying. All right. So for some examples, if an opponent allows plays, wait, if an opponent always plays zone defense, a player can counter it by one, using fast ball movement to stretch the defense. All right. Two, taking open three pointers from weak spots in the zone. All right. Kind of like the first one you just seen was Steph Curry taking the shot from an open spot. Okay. So weak spot because there was nobody defending it, so he was wide open at the three. All right, and using fast ball movement would be kind of like doing pick and rolls, just passing it back and forth between your teammates. And once the defense loosens up, you find a pick in the defense. You just attack it and make a score like that. All right. If an opponent plays aggressive defense, a player can run a pick and roll to create space for an open shot, and that's another strategy to use. A lot of people use that, especially in 2v2s, 3v3s. They do a pick and roll. One person stay on the left side. The usually the big person, the center, just stands in the middle like a big wall. Just stands there, and then the point guard just runs right, left, just running right behind the wall. So it's kind of a good strategy. But if you know how to play it, you know how to get through it. Okay. And lastly, why it matters. Successful players read their opponent's play style, knowing when to drive, pass, or take a jump shot is key to controlling the game. All right, identifying defensive weaknesses and adjusting playstyle leads to more scoring opportunities. Overall wins. Overall it leads to wins. So
How often do you do pick and rolls in 2K? Like
how
every single
often?
play? Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, personally, I don't like to use pick and rolls a lot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like to only use them when I'm getting pressured a lot from the defense. So when the
Mm-hmm.
point guard is on me a lot and I feel like I can't dribble without getting the ball stolen, I'd ask for a pick and roll just so I can get some
I,
space. Or if I
okay.
feel like the center is he got a better build or he's just I feel like he can just take the center on. I call it pick and roll, have him uh come give me a wall, and then I'll pass him the ball, and then just see what he do with it. It's different things you can do with it.
Okay, very situational then.
Very situational, because it's a pick
I
and pop as
see.
well. It's
Mm-hmm.
different kind of I guess you could say plays, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's definitely situational.
Nice, nice. That's good.
I'd love to teach y'all 2K too if y'all want to hop on and play.
Yeah, yeah. I saw we had a little showdown yesterday with our second class.
Oh
They were
yeah,
going crazy in
oh
2K.
yeah. Second class showed up, showed out. They were doing good.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Next slide. We're gonna go to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighting.
hmm
So, SSBU is a unique fighting game because it blends traditional fighting mechanics with platform-based movement. Um, Platforms are basically just like you're on one platform, flat ground, the 2D fighting, just like I see in Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Rivals Victor, Brawlhalla, etc. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a unique fighting game because it blends traditional fighting mechanics with platform-based movement. SSBU is a great example of how fighting games emphasize reaction speed, decision making, and strategy. That's how you know when you start growing as a player
hmm
is first you start realizing what the buttons do, next you realize how to get kills, and then you realize what leads to kills, and then you realize counterplay, whether it's fighting your opponent or just fighting a character that you know how to fight against. Whether it's spacing, punishing mistakes, or adapting to an opponent's playstyle, these concepts apply to all fighting games. Yep, not just Smash Brothers. This is just like a core way to learn and transition to other FTC games. Like for example, Street Fighter.
hmm
You start learning the combos. You start learning, okay, this is a quarter circle, forward, down, quarter circle to do like Hadoukens or other like moves. But traditionally, it's all the same concept, just different mechanics.
Yes, sir. And before we start to the next slide, I ask that every student please participate. Um, I know Miss Chang is trying to get you guys to participate, so if you guys can please just follow along and show some interaction so we can get through this, please. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Xavier. So I'm gonna type Xavier guys participation
Good job,
for
Xavier.
today. Um, okay. And next slide, we have examples of SSBU.
hmm
A defensive player might shield often, so the opponent can use grabs to counter their strategy. And if you guys remember that shielding is very good for when they're pressuring you a lot, but
hmm
the shield can also break. So if they shield too much, you can be able to punish them by breaking their shield, causing for a free punish. If an opponent always jumps to avoid attacks, like my main character Zero Suit Samus, using an anti-air like an up smash, yep, or an up air can punish them. Because even though jumping is good, it can be a very bad habit. And once you realize this person's a jumper, they like jumping, you can use your character to anti-air them, whether it's smash attack, a punish. Basically, it's like, oh, you keep jumping, I'm gonna keep hitting you. Like,
hmm
uh, this is either learn or adapt. Why it matters? High level players focus on adaptation. Recognizing your opponent's patterns are key. Top players can predict the opponent's habits and counter them before they make a move. And that's what separates the greats from the goods is by them anticipating, predicting, knowing what you're going to do, sometimes even before you do it. And it's actually kind of like a superpower because it's like, wait, how'd you know I was going to do that? It's like, I just knew or I read you, or they just so like in tune with the game and the character that just sees things that other people can't.
hmm
It's kind of crazy.
Isagi. All
Hmm,
right.
literally.
All right. In our next slide, all right, gameplay mechanics and their roles. All right. Have about two more slides left.
Mhm.
So, while strategy is important, understanding gameplay mechanics is what separates casual players from top competitors. All right. Number one, we have Valorant. What you got, Ray?
So this is very really important because, like, even though Valorant is a shooting game, its mechanics are very different from like Fortnite and more Rivals, Overwatch. Because in that game, movement is kind of like IRL. You know, you're like, if you're running and gunning, you're gonna spray and move all over the place instead of like standing still.
Hmm.
So Valorant is very, very keen on crosshair placement and movement. They both go hand in hand. Um, keep your crosshair at head level instead of looking at the ground. Kind of common sense there, you know. But you will see some people like first starting off, they'll kind of like look at the ground and have like a hard time, like beginner level, trying to maintain that head level distance.
Hmm.
Um, and peeking correctly, not exposing your whole body, makes it harder for enemies to hit you. Because in Valorant specifically, you have to hold angles and peak angles and like lanes. Because if there's a wall in front of you, you know, you're never gonna shoot anyone. You're just gonna see the wall. So you have to just play around it, the walls, and anticipate maybe people either going past that lane or peeking out at you. So reaction time is incredibly important. Or even just pre-firing is very important in Valorant too, because if you're holding a what they call a common angle, if the enemy opponent is basically been there hundreds of times, they can even be pro or
Hmm.
amateur level, but if they know that they're there, they can literally peek and shoot, and you'll have absolutely zero time to react to it because it's like, okay, he's probably here, so let me just shoot out there to make sure they're there, and next thing you know, you just get one tapped, and then you start raging, and then you quit the game forever.
It's like, how did they know? But they didn't
Exactly,
know.
yeah. Yep, they know those common angles. Compared to Marvel Rivals, where they have ability cooldown management.
Hmm.
So meaning that while you do have unlimited abilities, they have cooldowns, whether it's like 3 seconds, 6 seconds, even like 120 seconds. Don't waste your strongest abilities too early in a fight. That is so important, so important, because that will literally help shut other people down or boost up your opponents, or you would just get kills from it. Here's a good example. If Doctor Strange uses his teleport ability too soon, he has no escape option when under attack, or he has no movement option. That is probably no, that one for sure is the longest cooldown in the entire game.
Hmm.
I think it's like 200 seconds. Could be wrong, but it's close to almost like 2.5 minutes. And it can be to a point where you use it and you mess up the portal and it doesn't even happen. So it's like, well, now
Those are the
that's it.
worst.
GG. Mm-hmm. So very, very important compared to Valorant, where in Valorant, you do have utility, but it costs money.
Hmm.
Because you have to buy guns, buy equipment, make sure you resource your economy very well. Whereas like Overwatch and Rivals, it's just on cooldowns, and your ultimates build up from doing damage and getting picks.
And I would say one thing that's different from Valorant and I mean other FPS like Call of Duty and stuff. Call of Duty is a lot more fast paced. You have what is it called? You literally have sprinting. You can
Mm-hmm.
slide. You can dive. You know, so there's different mechanics when it comes to that FPS. So Valorant's a lot more slower. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Just the
Mm-hmm.
movement and those were a little bit different.
Yeah, movement is very, very keen. Like when Apex came out, I love that
Oh
movement.
yeah, Apex was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I grind that game a
Um,
lot.
What um what other games have you guys like played? Like have you guys played Apex? Have you guys tried Valorant? Any Call of Duties? Which I'm sure you guys have.
Yeah, what are some other FPS games they played?
Mhm. And while we do that, you wanna get the next slide?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're almost done.
Hmm. And one better example I wanted to use for my roles was honestly support oats. Um, yeah, I'll save it for next time. Night 40.
Hmm.
All right, next we have NBA 2K25, one of my lovely games. I love this game. Um, at the top left, let's look at the pictures first. You have right here is the shot meter. Okay, a lot of people complain about the shot meter, and even myself complain about the shot
Hmm.
meter because
Hmm.
they change it basically every 2K. They change everything. Okay, they kind of revamp it. So this 2K, it was the way that the shot meter was. It was just too confusing. Like we don't know whether to drop it right, stop right here, stop it after the bar, stop it before. Like it's always something interesting with this bar. Okay, 1 second. Split game was a fun FPS game. Okay, Splitgate was actually fun. It's kind of like Portal with a little bit of Call of Duty involved.
Oh, it looks cool.
Splitgate,
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That looks pretty solid.
yeah, it's a pretty cool game, and they actually came out with a Splitgate 2 not too long ago,
Oh, very cool.
or they are. But good stuff, Xavier. And at the bottom left right here, you have the stamina bar, which is very important. So tip for 2K25 is shot timing and stamina management. Okay, tired players shoot less accurately, so managing stamina is key. Okay, this is one thing a lot of people always confuse. Like, why do I miss these shots? Like, why is my passes off? You're tired. You can't breathe. You're when I'm not sure, but for example, taking too many sprint dribbles before a jump shot reduces shot accuracy. Okay, and this is another thing that people do. They dribble a lot, right? They would dribble the whole clock and then they'll take a shot at the last second and
Hmm.
then be confused like why what happened, or there'll be two people on them and be like, why was I not open when you've been dribbling the whole key? I mean the whole time on the clock, and it's like it's only 1 second left. And like a lot of people in this game they do ball hog, but a lot of people they play good and they pass the ball. So it's kind of with
That's
every
funny.
game, it's just you get a random pick of players.
I haven't heard ball hog in so long.
Oh yeah, ball
It's a
hog. People are like,
ball
ball.
hog.
Pass the rock.
It's a ball, literally.
Okay, we got Smash Brothers Ultimate, which is our last one. Okay, I believe this is our last slide.
Hmm.
Okay, we have.
um,
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
yeah. So in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, this is a key term that you will be learning. This is called directional influence, aka DI, and teching. So, holding a direction after getting hit can change where you fly, helping you survive longer or even lose your life earlier.
Hmm.
Um, so with directional influence, whenever like you get hit and you get launched like far away, if you're holding towards the direction you're getting launched at, that is the wrong thing to do because you're basically helping your trajectory boost yourself even further.
Hmm.
So what you want to do is you want to hold in the opposite direction. So that way, when you do get launched, you'll be holding in instead of holding away to make sure you survive longer. And it's pretty noticeable too, because sometimes you'll get hit by something where you should not lose your stock for it, but you will. So DI is very important. Um, so if you get launched to the left, and hold to the right, get launched to the right, hold to the left, and basically this is a strat that it's might be a little confusing at first, but with like time and practice, you'll be able to visibly see. Okay, I got hit to the left. You'll just automatically start holding into the right.
Okay.
And on top of that, we also have something called teching. So if a player techs, which means you're pressing shield before you're landing or before you're hitting a wall, like in that little time frame window, you'll avoid being bounced off the ground and hit again, or you'll be avoiding by like hitting the wall and being launched that way. Techs are a little reactionary, but also once you start playing more and realize how much knockback you're gonna get, it's all basically about timing and visually seeing your character model just before they hit either the ground or the side of the stage. That one
Mm.
takes a little more time and practice, but Once you get it down, boop.
It's
It's just like
possible.
a. It's definitely possible.
Okay.
Games aren't just about pressing buttons fast. They're about understanding the game, adapting to opponents, and making smart decisions. The best players aren't always the ones with the best reflexes, but the ones who outthink their opponents. And it's true too, because you can have a very quick character that can you can push really fast buttons, but if someone's like, this guy's just pushing buttons, I know how to
Mhm.
counter that. You can
Yeah.
zone them out, you can shield, you can wait till they push a wrong button and then punish them for that.
Mhm.
So speed is good, but it's not everything.
Like a lot of thing in low levels or in low ranks in certain games, a lot of people they complain about, he's always spamming or he's always doing the same thing. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are at a higher enough level, if you really think about what he's doing, he's just pressing the same button or he's just spamming. He's not really being intentional with his movements. Okay, so with that, being noted in your brain, you just gotta take advantage of it. You know, a lot of people spam on Brawlhalla. I just know they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do a signature skill all the time. So as soon as they do the sig, I just punish them right after. As soon as I
Good.
punish them, I know they're gonna spot dodge because their main move is being what's the word um
Predictable.
is being predictable. Yeah, basically, it's being predictable. So I'm predicting everything that they're doing. So they're in panic mode. So usually when people are in panic mode, they usually block or they usually spot dodge or they usually try and get away from the aggressiveness that you're trying to push on them. And then once I take advantage of that, it's over. You know.
Mhm.
But yeah,
And always be open to like learning.
adapting.
The learning and adapting to your situation. That's why it's like our job to make sure, like, okay, you're spamming that. Try not to, if I'm predicting like you're gonna jump, like, okay, you're trying to jump here because you're jumping too much and you're creating a bad habit too.
Mhm.
And instead, let's try to mix it up with just grabbing ledge. How about you try to stay grounded? Maybe hold shield. Maybe run back and then run towards. Different things, and once you add all these different mix-ups and strategies and plays, then you'll start realizing, okay, I can do this instead of this, and cycling things out, trying to confuse and mix up your opponent.
Mhm. The funny thing is, we were playing Brawlhalla the other day, and then Corey he was asking
Mm-hmm.
why I was winning, and then I literally
Mm-hmm.
told him why I was winning because he kept doing the same thing, and I was taking advantage of it. Once I told him, he completely switched it up, and he did a lot better. So
Yep.
one thing you gotta listen. When somebody's trying to help you out, and you
Mm-hmm.
gotta adapt. Be willing to change your ways, and he
And
did.
don't give up, guys. I
Don't give
know
up.
just cause like you don't understand the game, you shouldn't say like, oh, it's bad or it sucks. It's like, well, you're probably really good at it, just not yet. You know.
Yeah, that's
It's
most
just
important.
understanding the core mechanics of a game and overcoming that battle. Like saying, I want to get better, I can get better. Instead of this game sucks, I don't like it. I'm gonna be doing what I know because I know that. When literally you could probably be one of the best players at this game.
It's so true.
Just take the time to just learn it and be patient with it.
Most importantly, don't give up. So true.
Mhm.
Because he could have gave up. He could have been like, man, I don't want to play no more. But instead, he was like, how did you beat me? And I was like, you really want to know? He was like, yeah. Then I told him,
Mhm.
and
I remember that day.
he just evolved. Level 2 Corey. Let's go.
There we go. Yep, yep. And that was like, it took a minute, but the fact that you didn't give up, you listened, and you adapted, just shows you have growth potential.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. But we have about 2 minutes left, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no assessment today, but Friday you will be having an assessment. Okay. So
Be
we're gonna
ready
be
for
doing a
it.
little bit different. Um, so hopefully you guys have a good day. Stay hydrated. Get home
Yes.
safely. Have some fun.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Yeah. Is that? Oh yeah. Thank you, Xavier, for participating. Corey, I
Thank you.
seen you a little bit in there,
Hmm?
but I believe those are our two people that are in that class, and we have two more placeholders, which is
Yeah.
probably Alejandro and
Let's run.
All right. Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon. One second, let me fix
how
my camera. Good
how we
afternoon. Hope,
doing?
yeah, my fault. Go ahead.
You're good. You're good. Good afternoon, y'all. How we all doing? Welcome to another session today.
hmm Another online portion for our
Mm-hmm.
Orbius curriculum today. Hopefully, everybody is having a good day so far. Um, yeah, staying hydrated. Full on the stomach. So, without further ado, let's just hop into it. Today, we're gonna be talking about gameplay and strategy. All right. So let me transition and show y'all real quick. All right. Full screen. All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So our main objective for today is the goal of this presentation is to help students understand the importance of gameplay and strategy in different video game genres. All right. In this presentation, students will explore how different game genres such as FPS, hero shooters, sports, and fighting games each require unique strategies and skills. All right, through examples from Valorant, as you can see at the bottom, we got Valorant Marble Rivals, NBA 2K25, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They will learn how teamwork, positioning, resource management, and adaptation can lead to success. Oh crap! Here we go again. All right. So at the bottom, at the bottom you have some visuals. You got Valor on the left, Marvel Rivals following right after, NBA 2K25, and you got
Mm-hmm.
SSVU.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Game genres and their unique aspects. What you got for us, Roy?
All right. So right here we have FPS. All right. Welcome, CJ.
What's up,
Every
CJ?
game falls into specific genres. Each genre has its own unique gameplay and style and strategies. Understanding these differences help players improve their skills and decision making. For
Mhm.
example, we have FPS shooter Valorant, which is pretty much was inspired by CS:GO, but this one has more of like unique hero abilities, whereas that CS:GO does not. And FPS games focus on precise aiming, positioning, and teamwork. Valorant takes a step further by adding character abilities, making strategies just as important as gunplay.
Yes,
And
sir.
in the next example, we have on defense, a team might hold angles at a key choke point and use abilities like smokes, flashes, or walls to block enemy vision and control space. This is very important when you're defending because you want to make sure that the enemy team that's attacking does not plant the spike.
Mhm.
But when you're on the attacking side, when attacking a bomb site, instead of rushing in blindly, a team might use flashbangs to blind defenders, deploy smokes and grenades to block sight lines, and fake an attack on one site to bait defenders away from the real target. As you can see on the right, the top right, we have green smoke caused by Viper, making sure that either the Sova is covered or providing cover for the team, or just making it harder for the enemy to see what they're doing.
Mhm.
Very very important to use, and why it matters. Unlike traditional shooters like Call of Duty, abilities in Valorant add a layer of strategy. A well-timed flashbang or smoke can win a round, even if a player has worse aim. This focuses on team coordination, map control, and aim precision. You see at the bottom right here, we have Brimstone's smoke. That smoke is very good for for either hiding yourself in there, popping the opponent, seeing if you'll bait the enemy by pushing the smokes and you'll shoot them, or using it for cover when you want to clear an angle, maybe plant site, or even just throw a utility down there so they won't see
Mhm.
and they'll run into it. Boom. Definitely many strategies to use in Valorant.
Yeah, that green
This
wall
being
right there
said,
is huge.
let's see. We can't hear anything now.
Hello.
The screen stopped. There we go.
Are we
Hey,
back?
I think we're back. Yeah.
All right. We had a small little hiccup, I guess. I'm not sure what.
I think it was the internet. We can't hear anything now. Screen stop.
Hold on, I can't see you. 1 second.
Now we can see. Okay, bet. But for me, place webcam here. Sorry, guys. Some technical difficulties.
Hold on. All right, better. Should be good.
All right. I think we're back, guys.
Sorry about that, chat.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
so
guys, we're
yeah,
back, ready to go. You wanna start off?
yes.
Okay.
All right, so next we have Marvel Rivals. Apologies for the, technical difficulties, but we are back. All right, so we're starting off with Marvel Rivals. All right, which is a hero shooter slash third person shooter. Okay, unlike traditional FPS games, Marvel Rivals lets players control iconic superheroes with unique abilities, adding a mix of action and strategy. All right, since Marvel Rivals is a hero-based game, winning requires understanding which heroes work well together and which counter each other. All right, so right here you see the Thing and Hulk just hashing it out right now. Hulk got his ultimate ability, and Thing is just trying to fight his best fight right now. So
Yep. And who do you guys think would win, the Thing or the Hulk? Let us know in the comments.
yeah, who would win?
Who would actually win? Who you got? In the meantime,
Who
in the
you
next
putting your
slide,
money on? Uh huh.
yeah, who you guys got? Here's an example, right? So, if the enemy team has a strong frontline tank like the Hulk, players might counterpick a hero with ranged abilities like Iron Man to attack from a distance. If the enemy team relies on high damage, low health heroes, choosing a tank like Venom or Thor can absorb damage and distribute their attacks.
Yep.
Hulk easy, comic version at least. Okay, okay.
Okay, I like that. What else
Well,
we got?
y'all don't believe in the Thing? Come on, he's rock. Uh,
He's literally Dwayne Johnson, bro. Come on, yeah.
that's funny.
All right.
Why it matters. Players need to understand hero synergies. Combining abilities effectively can make the difference between winning and losing a fight.
Mhm.
Playing the right hero for the right situation makes it harder for enemies to execute their strategies.
Mhm.
If we look to the left, we can see Iron Man using his Unibeam to target the Mantis on the ground because his positioning is very good. One, no one's looking at him. Two, he's near cover, so if they do look at him, he can just fly away or use that for cover
Mhm.
slash like a defensive wall. And three, Mantis is a strategist who doesn't really have much mobility. She stays on the ground and makes it hard to basically be to fight back against an Iron Man where he's up in the sky.
Yeah.
And as a duelist, Iron Man has to basically take out the strategist, making it hard for the enemy team to one lose the resources of healing and potentially a comeback factor for the ultimate, and two, the Star Lord can potentially counter the Iron Man, so he has to try to pick at her, annoy them, get distractions, so hopefully someone can take out the Star Lord.
Yep. And on the right side, you see Venom flying in, looking for his prey. Right now, he's in a good position. Two tanks on his team. He got a Scarlet Witch. So if you see at the bottom right, they're pushing. They don't even see Venom at the like right above his head. So
Hmm.
Venom is gonna definitely flank from the back line, and then at that point, Punisher won't be able to do anything, and Star Lord will be, hopefully he'll be able to be taken out, but 9 times out of 10 he might be out of there. But it's just a good flank mechanic, good positioning. You see they have a lot of damage, so Venom is a good pick to just mitigate that damage, take a different
Hmm.
approach and strategy. You feel me? When we playing rivals, so actually if you hop into the Discord, you can play rivals literally today.
Hmm.
Right out of school. Once you get home, you can play rivals today. Okay, so you just gotta hop in the Discord, hop in our community, and then we could get all these things started.
Yep. I left my gamer tag down there, Trumpet Boy Roy.
Yep,
If y'all want to add me, we'll do some scrims together.
yep.
And
I'll
we'll be
put mine
streaming
too.
it
I
too.
got hop in.
Yeah. We'll be streaming it too, y'all.
hmm And we got NBA 2K25. All right. So our next slide, and this is a sports game. All right, like NBA 2K, sports game, like NBA 2K25 require real world basketball knowledge. All right, quick decision making and adapting to opponents. Basketball games require adapting to opponents' defense and running effective plays. Okay, as you see at the bottom, you see Steph Curry wide open at the 3 point line, right? Perfect. That's his range. That's his comfortability, right? And as you see his defense, they scrambled. Right? You got two on the left side, two on the right side. And then you got one person on Steph Curry. He's not even playing defense, so that's an open shot. So that's just another way to take advantage of the field. You know, having that knowledge of where your teammates are, where the defense is, and being able to just take that open shot. All right. For example, if an opponent always plays zone defense, a player can counter it by number one, using fastball movement to stretch the defense. All right. And that's easy by just passing the ball back and forth. All right. And once you see like a hiccup in the defense, you just take advantage of it and then you find a way to score, or you find a way to just, just how do you say it? Mix up the defense a little bit so you could just
Mhm.
get a better advantage. And then two, taking open 3 pointers from weak spots in the zone. Like as you seen in the last slide, Steph Curry pulled up I'm not mid range, but top of the key at the three, wide open. Okay, if an opponent plays aggressive defense, a player can run a pick and roll to create space for an open shot. All right, you see a lot of this, and if you play my career or you make your own player and then you play my park, you see a lot of pick and rolls. They abuse it so much because it's a great strategy. It's a great strategy to just get open when your defender is too aggressive, or just to make a good play and make an easy basket. All right, and why this matters: successful players read their opponent's play style, knowing when to drive, pass, or take a jump shot is key to controlling the game. All right, identifying defensive weaknesses and adjusting play styles leads to more scoring opportunities. All right, just leads to overall dubs in general. You want to win, you gotta adapt, and you gotta change your strategy. You gotta keep changing, keep improving. And he says, I miss when spots. I miss when spot games were silly and wacky instead of realistic. What does that mean?
I think you meant sports games.
Oh, I miss when sport games were silly and wacky instead of realistic. That's fair.
Real.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I miss NBA Street and I miss all of those games. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was
That's how I
definitely
felt with
the era.
skate.
Oh yeah,
Skate
Skate.
2. That was so funny, man.
Skate was so fire.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Hawk too. Oh my god. Now we got
All
Super
right.
Smash Bros. What you got?
That was. I'm lagging. No.
It says you're good at mine. I don't see no lag.
Okay,
That's
I'm
interesting.
lagging. All right, guys. Moving on to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighting Style. So SSBU is a unique fighting game because it blends traditional fighting mechanics with platform-based movement. SSBU is a great example of how fighting games emphasize reaction speed, decision making, and strategy all in one, guys.
Mhm.
Whether it's spacing, punishing mistakes, or adapting to an opponent's playstyle, these concepts apply to all fighting games. And yep, in every single fighting game, there's spacing. Spacing basically means making sure that you're spacing out your attacks very, very perfectly to the point to where it's like, hey, I'm spacing to hit you. I'm spacing away to make sure I don't get hit.
Mhm.
Punishing mistakes is, for example, let's say like I'm 1v1ing um, like Jimmy right now, and he keeps jumping, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna jump here. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. He jumps again, I punish him. He jumps again, I punish him. He jumps one more time, and I'm like, bro, that's a bad habit. I'm just gonna keep punishing you.
Mhm.
Try to mix it up, do something else. Try to adapt to making a mistake, and even adapting to the opponent's playstyle. If you do keep jumping, you're gonna always, and I can recognize that. You can counterplay that. Super important to know. We miss you, Kirby. I miss you guys too. Don't worry, we'll be there next week. Trust, trust.
Let's go with the Kirby Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
And for the next slide, we have examples. A defensive player might shield often, so the opponent can use grabs to counter the strategy. Because, as we said before in the previous modules, grabs beat shields, guys. And also, too, if someone's shielding too much, too much, it can actually break their shield, causing you to do a huge punish. So, like, if I'm Captain Falcon and I use the knee of justice to break your shield and you're hit stunned, of course I'm gonna obviously use a Falcon punch to punch you out of the screen and get that clean stock. So
Mhm.
shielding's important, but you have to manage your time using it. Why it matters. High level players focus on adaptation, guys. Recognizing your opponent's patterns are key. Top players can predict their opponent's habits and counter them before they make a move. And that's what separates the good from the great
Hmm.
is the opponent or even yourself anticipating and predicting what they're going to do. Like, for example, my character, Zero Suit, if you know I'm going to keep jumping and I always keep jumping, then you know exactly how to counter it. If you know that you're going to be Sonic and be running around, you can basically bait him out into like running in and punishing one of his mistakes, and vice versa too.
Hmm.
So adaptation is key, guys, and you're going to learn through trial and error.
Of course. Even last period, Corey showed a good bit of adaptation. Uh, I was winning a lot playing against him, and then he was literally he just asked me a simple question like, "How do you keep beating me?" And I'm like, "Do you really want to know?" He's like, "Yes, please teach me." So I'm like, "The reason why I keep beating you is because you keep being predictable. You keep doing the same moves. Okay, every time you do this, I know you're gonna do it. Like every time you do a sig, I'm gonna just punish it because I know you're gonna do a sig. And then right after I punish it, he's gonna spot dodge. So I just take advantage of it every time, and that's how I get all these combos off because you're just doing the same thing. So once I told him that, he completely switched it up, and his gameplay just changed. So just that adaptation and not giving up is a good key skill to have. So I recommend y'all got to learn it somewhere. All right. We got
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
gameplay mechanics and their roles. All right. While strategy is important, understanding gameplay mechanics is what separates casual players from the top competitors. All right. Wait, can you get this real quick?
Yes. So in Valorant, we have crosshair placement and movement, guys. They both go hand in hand. So keep your crosshair at head level instead of looking at the ground. You know, you want to make sure you're shooting their heads, not their toes, because that's not going to do that much damage. And peeking correctly, meaning not exposing your whole body, makes it hard for the enemies to hit you. In
Mm-hmm.
Valorant, it's very, very different from your traditional fighting games, or not fighting games, shooting games like Call of Duty, where it's very fast paced, run and gun, you know, slides here and there. Uh, in Valorant, it's a little more realistic to the point to where if you're running and gunning, you're gonna spray, you're gonna misfire, you're gonna uh, basically not be able to hit your shots unless you're standing completely still, or if you're strafing correctly to where your bullets will hit the money on the mark right on the dot. So very, very important to know that if you do play Valorant, movement and crosshair placement go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. So if you see people running and gunning in Valorant, they're 99.9% not gonna hit their shots. As for rivals, we have ability cooldown management. Don't waste your strongest abilities too early in a fight. If Doctor Strange uses his teleport ability too soon, he has no escape option when under attack. So, literally, what that means is, uh, yep, hey, you know, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But let's focus, guys. Let's focus on the topic at hand.
Let's.
We're just using it as an example, you know. And some people can be, you know, multi-talented and pick up any game and be good at it, and some people will not because they don't want to try and they just give up because it's too high of a skill ceiling for them. So I understand it'd be that way. Um, but yes, compared to Valorant, Rivals is basically like Overwatch, where Valfire tripping my bet. All good, all good. To each their own. You know, some people love Overwatch, some people hate it. Some people love Rivals, some people hate it. Some people love Smash, some people hate it. It is what it is, you know? Preferences. But on the topic of abilities and cooldowns, Rivals, you have unlimited abilities at the price of cooldowns, whether it's 3 seconds, 6 seconds, or like 200 seconds. You know, it's all about resource management, making sure you use your cooldowns and utility in a correct cycle manner, and it all depends on the character you use and how you use them. Whereas Valorant, you have a economy to where you buy guns, buy utility, upgrade, and play off of each other by winning rounds. Whereas Rivals, team based, make sure you use your ultimates in a good coordinating fashion, like this God of Thunder Thor right here, making sure that if they're not moving, everyone's gonna get hit. But if it's combined with like let's say Groot ult where he like sucks everyone in and he just ults them, then boom, that's a could be a team wipe if used correctly.
It's all about how you use it.
Hmm.
All right, so we have two more slides for y'all. Yeah. Left. Um, First one we have is NBA 2K25. All right, shot timing and stamina management. All right, two super important things a lot of people need to pay attention to when they're playing this game. Even I mess up sometimes. But shot meter. I know a lot of people they have complained about this shot meter, and I don't like it.
Mm.
I actually don't like it as well. I don't use
Is
shot
it
meters. I just
is it
use.
like
Hmm,
is it the timing? Will it mess you up? Is it
it's it's
awkward?
just a awkward bar. Like it changes every year, so it's kind of you like some, and then they come out with something you just don't like. You know. But in general, if you don't like
Damn.
this, just take the shot meter off. That's what I recommend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But tip: tired players shoot less accurately, so managing stamina is key. That's one thing I mess up on. I miss a lot of open layups because I'll be running out of breath. All right, so paying attention to stamina is most important. Okay, example: taking too many sprint dribbles before a jump shot reduces shot accuracy. So I know when y'all see a lot of people dribble before they shoot, most of the time it can be a good play if you have enough energy to do it, but sometimes you just wasting energy, and by the time you pull up for that shot, your shot meter is changed because you're tired and you're not understanding why you're not making it, and it's all because the stamina is being used too much. All right, dribbling takes too much stamina, so you got to be mindful. Shot timing and stamina management. Um, and yeah, that's just some examples. All right, then you got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is our last one
All
for this
right,
slide.
guys. This is it. We got about 14 minutes left, so
Mhm.
we're gonna learn some terminology in Super Smash Brothers. The first one is called directional influence, aka DI. So
DI.
this is a term used all the time. So what exactly is it? And teching as well. But DI is essentially holding a direction after getting hit. Can change where you fly, helping you survive longer. So an example of this would be like if we're fighting and I am a Kirby and I'm hitting you with a forward smash and you get launched all the way to the right.
Mhm.
If you hold the opposite direction after getting launched, you're going to live longer because it basically helps reduce some knockback. Whereas if you hold in that same direction you get launched, it does the opposite effect. It will literally make you lose your stock earlier. So you don't want to be doing that. And it just takes some time and practice. But if you DI correctly after getting launched, you will live longer and it can basically save your life when you're in a heated battle 1v1.
Mhm.
And the next example we have is teching. So teching is if a player techs, which means pressing shield before a landing or hitting a wall, they avoid being bounced off the ground, or launched or getting stage spike. As you can see in the diagram to the right, we have Greninja performing a tech correctly. Just by looking at this, I can tell that Ike did a forward smash, which launched Greninja to the left, and he knew there was a wall there, so he had to perform a wall tech for him not to get bounced back towards Ike. So you perform a tech correctly by having your character stay in place like this and creating like a green aura type thing right after, and he's able to perform attacks and live longer too. Eventually, though, once you get like a too high percent, like above like 120, and depending on how strong the other move is, there is something called untechable to where the green aura there turns red, and once it's red, it's literally impossible to be able to tech that, and you just
Mhm.
end up just dying for it. So that's something that we will be practicing and learning. Some of you guys do it unconsciously already, but once you realize how to tech, when to tech, and how it looks like, you'll be able to master it and be able to perform wall techs and ground techs every time. And at the bottom here, we have games aren't just about pressing buttons faster, guys. They're about understanding the game, adapting to opponents, and making smart decisions. All right. If you're going to just keep jumping or running towards me and I keep hitting you and you think it's going to work, it's not going to work, guys. You have to basically figure out, okay, I keep getting punished for this. How can I not get punished for this? Or how can I get around this and punish the opponent?
Mhm.
But the best players aren't always the ones with the best reflexes, but the ones who outthink their opponents. So once you realize your mistake, start by creating a counterplay. Okay, I should probably stop jumping and maybe do a little bit more rolls, maybe shield more, probably grab more, and then start countering them, or even just mixing up their your opponents, making you a little unpredictable, but also have a game plan. Like, okay, let me just try to go in and get a kill confirm, so that way I can take advantage and then start oppressing the opponent.
Mhm. My advice to be like the best in any game is to just be adaptable. Okay. I know a lot of us we have a lot of certain habits that we do on a daily. But when it comes to gaming and stuff like that, if you do those habits a lot of people are just gonna take advantage of it. So you gotta be willing to adapt. Definitely in 2K, um, I'll definitely adapt it over the years. I'll take a lot more I'll take a lot more, wide open shots instead of just throwing it up because I feel like I can make it. Or I've taken 20 shots in training and I've made all of them, so I feel like I'm the best now. But it's not, it's not about just shooting every shot. It's about taking the right shots. So it's a lot of different strategies you gotta pay attention to when you play these games, especially if you want to win. Okay, I know it's hard to win sometimes with randoms, but if you
Mm-hmm.
change a few things, you might be able to change the tide of the war. Get
Mm-hmm.
a few dubs. I promise you, it'll help out in the long run.
Yep, and it's up to you to be that change and the adaptation. Because
Hmm.
when you're with randoms, they might be a one trick. They might like not know the game as well as you, or they might think something's right, but it's like that's actually not right. Like
Yeah,
you got to be the change in the tide.
that's so true. A lot of
And
randoms think they know everything,
it's kind of crazy.
but we're
Uh,
losing.
I left you guys a little question, so I want you guys to give me some bad habit examples in any game you play.
Oh, good question.
Hmm.
What's some
Like
bad
what's a
habits?
bad habit? Yeah, for Valorant, it's running and gunning. For Rivals, it's using your ult at a bad time without the team, not getting any picks.
Hmm.
For Smash, it could be like jumping into your opponent into their attack.
Hmm.
What's some bad habits so you guys can clearly distinguish or use an example? Like I know you guys were talking about Elden Ring and Bloodborne earlier in the chat. Name some bad habits there.
For 2K, it could be ball hogging.
Mm,
You know. So let me know what you think. Panicking and just jumping.
that's true.
Mmm.
Yep. If you just know how to jump, then you're gonna get attacked because you don't know how to defend. You don't know how to move.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
What else I got? What,
Losing. And no,
I
losing
wouldn't.
is just a part of the game. It's how you lose.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
How do
that's a
you
bad
lose?
habit.
Mm-hmm.
We all lose, we all win some. So if I could win and make that a habit, well, technically,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can make good habits, guys.
Hmm.
Bad habits.
Eating
Eating
the
the
controller.
controller. Oh, sometimes it just be tasty. But
I don't know. No.
nom nom nom. Yeah, you don't want to eat the controller. That thing expensive.
Pressing the wrong buttons.
Yeah, like fat fingering's a big thing too, or you just like little mistakes like that, like air dodging in Smash Brothers
Hmm.
can be so bad, so bad. So yeah, pressing the wrong button is a habit. You have to be like, okay, don't press that button, press this button instead. It's a good one. Also, too, here, bad call outs. I think that's a bad habit too.
Blaming your teammates, yes. Oh my God, that should be so important.
Hmm. Like, oh, he's like, no, no, he was there. Trust me, trust me. And you look, he's not there. Boom. It's like, bro, what? When'd
Bad
you see
call
him? When I died? Yeah, you died like a minute ago. Of course he's not gonna be there anymore.
outs.
Bad chemistry, Jeremy.
I wouldn't say that's a bad habit.
Playing too aggressive.
Yeah.
If you get punished for playing too aggressive, it's a bad habit, yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
Not being aware of your surroundings, that's a good one. That's a really, really good one. Can you give me an example of Marvel Rivals, Dun Dun, for that?
For not being aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm,
Definitely supports need to be more aware of their surroundings. Or let me not
mm-hmm,
say supports, I'm gonna say tanks. Okay? And
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this because there's a lot of times where tanks are pushed way too far. When we would do really good, right? We'll get like I'll say like an ace, right? And then the team will come back, right? We'll do like a steadfast, and then we'll get a little bit of high ground. We'll start doing a little bit good, and then the tank will just push too far, right?
Yes.
And as soon as he pushes too far, it's a wall in front of us, and we can't heal him or we can't
Mm-hmm,
support him. So we
mm-hmm.
lose a tank or two, and then at that time the tides have changed. Okay, so I believe not being aware of your surroundings as a tank is important because you have a lot, like you have a big role to play. Like, you got to take care of your team. You got to be a shield sometimes. You got to take care of your supports. Sometimes they got Black Panther. You got to help your support.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
exactly. Like, turn around,
yeah,
please.
just
Like,
turn around, please.
hmm. Yeah, and same with the strategist too. It's like if you're just healing and you're like a healing bot,
Oh
like you're
yeah.
providing healing, but you're more than just a healer. Like, you can do damage.
Mhm.
You can basically like kind of like get some information. Like, okay, you know what? Ping some people here. Like,
Exactly.
definitely like being aware of your team and the enemy team at the same time, and not just focusing so much on one that you just lose. You lose because of like little mistakes that add like it's like a butterfly effect that'll just trickle down.
Dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's so true. There's a lot
Yeah.
of times I see supports just healing the tank and he'll be full health. And I'll be like pinging, like, can I get some health? And I'll be like one health. Like right
Mm-hmm.
behind him, like, can I get some health?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand.
And then if you're a duelist, like you got the bloodlust. You just want to like kill everything you see, and you
Oh
see a
yeah.
tank, and you think he's about to die, but then next thing you know, he gets healed up, and then next thing you know you're dying, and like the tank has a huge health pool. It's like three strategists or three DPS in one. There's a DPS 250, 300 max. It's you gotta think about stuff like that too. So go for the right picks, go for the squishies whenever you can, and yeah, play as a team, a synergy. And if one person on the team is not working with the team, then do your best to try to like counter what you see is in front of you to the best of your abilities.
Hmm. Play solo as your last resort. Don't play as a team. If it don't work out, if your team is not working with you, then just play solo. A
Hmm.
lot of people just insta lock solo. I want to play this person and no one else. Like, can you help us out first? Like, can we work as a team? But it's a lot that ties into it, yeah. So we got like what 4 minutes left.
Hmm.
I hope everybody has a good day, great day. Um, we will not be seeing you guys tomorrow, um, but you will be getting paper worksheets, and Friday you will be having a assessment. All right.
Hmm. We'll end off with it's a cool little question. What games are you playing this week? What you guys gonna grind this week? I'm gonna be grinding some Marvel Rivals. Try to make it a GM. Uh, I'm going to be grinding some Valorant and hopefully make it to silver. And then probably those are the two main ones. Maybe grind some Elite Smash. Checkers.
Let's go.
Ooh, checkers go crazy.
Checkers. I haven't heard that one in a minute. Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I love some Fortnite. I'm trying to grind some Rocket League. I'm trying to hit Grand Champ.
There you go.
I just hit Champion, so I'm on my way up. I'm trying to play 2K too. 2K is it's fun to facilitate a team sometimes.
Marvel Rivals, let's go.
For sure. Hopefully, y'all have a good day. We will catch y'all next week. Black Ops 3
Black Ops
Zombies.
3 Zombies? Okay.
What map on Black
And
Ops 3 Zombies? What map? What map do you like to play?
you gonna get all the Easter eggs? You gonna get that crazy sword thing?
That's what it's all about.
Borderlands? Classic right there.
And they coming out with a new Borderlands. I gotta stay tuned. Borderlands
Sheesh.
4, I believe, next month, March.
Hey.
Yep.
Lots of good things. Kino?
Kino der Turk, Kino der Turk. I don't know. I forgot to say it. Kino der Turton. And they like the classics. Finna play Fortnite.
All right, guys. GG's. Have a great rest of your day.
Well, you don't think so?
It may not look good, but hey, it all comes down to the gameplay.
Mhm. Yeah, true. You never know until you actually play it.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like Borderlands. Like we'll find out though. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Y'all stay safe out there. I'll see you next week.